The major scale is a pattern of whole steps and half steps. Whole steps being, for example, E to F sharp. This is an open string, and then this is a second fret, so that would be a whole step. And then the next step would be a whole step, so that would take us to this note, G sharp. Once again, the distance of 2 frets, and then A would be our next step, which is a half step, and then we're going to go 3 more wholes, so that would take us to B, C sharp here on the 9th fret, and D sharp here on the 11th fret, and then the final step is a half step, which takes us back to the 12th fret. So we see here we have whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now this is a single string scale, and with many scales that get shown or played on the guitar, a lot of times they go not on a single string, but across the fretboard. So I think one of the key understandings here is that we have to figure out what the whole step and the half step look like when moving from string to string in order to understand what or how to build a scale. And sometimes that's helpful, even if you have the scale memorized, to have a understanding of the construction of the scale. So one way we can look at this, we know that this is an A, and this A is known because it's an open string, if you in fact know your open strings. So once we've constructed that, we know we're on this after this first half step, so going B, C sharp, D sharp, back to E right here, and then whole step, and half step. So a whole step on string to string, we see down here we have E to F sharp, which is E to F sharp, like this. So if we eliminate the notes around it, just so we can take a peek, the whole step when we go from string to string here would be 12th fret to the 9th fret. So with that understanding, we'll just eliminate these here. We can build a major scale going in from string to string. Now, so if we wanted to, we could go another whole step right here. Once it's the same pattern, 1 string over, 1, 2, 3 frets back, 1 string over, 1, 2, 3 frets back. So if we were to do that, though, then we're building a scale that's not within a single position. So let's try to keep it to a single position for now. And if you want to experiment with this type of building, then you may certainly do so. So we've gone whole step on the same string because we're trying to keep within a position. This would mean that you would have to keep your pinky or forefinger here to be able to reach this with your 1 finger. So now that we've gone whole, whole, we have a half step here, and then we go whole, whole, whole. So A to B would have this relationship right here to C sharp, and then we've got to go a whole step, and this comes down to preference for the player. So I'm going to choose this right here, so we would actually have to come up and out of our position. Now we have to go to a half step, which is back to E, and now we're at a point where we can start building again from the beginning. Whole. Now, now that we're approaching the B string, though, whatever the pattern is, this looks like the whole step. This would actually come up here. So now we're back to being in this position. G sharp, half step to A, whole step to B, and then whole step to C sharp, whole step to D sharp, and then a half step to E. So when we look at this, jumping from string to string, this all stems from the knowledge of being able to build a whole step from string to string. Notice we never built a half step from string to string. There are occurrences where that may happen in certain positions, but so if I go, like if I wanted to go a half step from E to F, that note would be kind of out of position. So there's not a lot of instances where you would use that. If we're using this E right here, oops, I meant to say this E right here, then our F would be right here. That's just because of the B string rule where everything comes down one. So half steps are within a position from the G string to the B string, but that is about it. So let's do one more example here before finishing up. We will do the key of G, and we'll build a whole step on the first string, or on the same string here, and then we need another whole step, so A to B would be right here. We see that pattern, one string over, 3 frets back. So the whole point of this is for you to remember what a whole step looks like from string to string. Rather, here it's easy, we can see we count 1, 2 frets. But here we have to understand that this is also a whole step, A to B, just like this is a B right here, G, A, B, G, A, B. And if you can listen to it for yourself, as long as your guitar is in tune, you'll see that that's right. So next we have a half step, and then a whole step to D, whole step to E, and we have our string to string whole step, same string, F sharp, half step to G, whole step to A, whole step, same string to B. Conveniently, we have our half step right here, C, and then our D is going to be right there. B string, come up 1, whole step to E, whole step to F sharp, bing, bing, half step to G, and we can finish our pattern. And you've probably seen this shape of the major scale, or this shape, depending on if it starts on the root or not. So what I recommend for practice is to pick a note anywhere and applying those intervals, the shape of the whole step and the half step, build a scale any way you want. Like I said, if you want to experiment going string to string like that, generally we play our scales in positions, but you can do them anywhere. If you're in a certain area and don't remember which full scale it's a part of, you can use the whole, half pattern and the knowledge of what a whole step is from string to string to build your major scale. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you at the next video presentation. Thank you.